everyone. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Eric.
And this is another episode of LA Rams Central. This is going to be brief the next few weeks because of the holidays. Plus, I'm not feeling well. So we're just going to cover 4 games today. Pick those. And obviously, the Rams are going to be one of them that we talk about. So we'll go from there. Eric, why don't you go ahead and start with the Bears and the Lions?
Bears and Lions playing on Saturday afternoon. Bears at Detroit. Last game was featured a 27-24 victory for Detroit as Connor Barth missed a field goal that wasn't even in the same stadium at the end of the game. To me, Detroit squeaked out a win. They were just good enough on offense. The Bears have been playing a lot better of late, especially last week against Cincinnati. I expect the Bears to put up a fight for 2-3 quarters, but I ultimately end up thinking Detroit pulls this out. Listen, Detroit's kind of looking over its shoulder with Green Bay in the rear view here, and Aaron Rodgers is coming back, so the only way that Detroit needs to stay ahead of them is to keep winning.
Yeah.
And Detroit at home in the at Ford Field, I almost said the Silverdome. I missed that place. I've been there twice. It imploded finally. But I do expect the Detroit Lions to pull out the victory here over the Bears.
Well, yeah, I'm picking the Lions too. I just think that, although I do think Trubisky can have a really good game against that Lions defense, they're pretty banged up. So, and with no Haloti Ngata, they've been able to run the ball on the Lions all year long since he's been out. So,
right.
I think if Howard has a big day, then the Bears have a really good chance of winning that game. So, I'm going to go.
Yeah, the Bears can control the clock with Howard. Like I said a couple of episodes ago, Detroit, when Ngata was in the lineup, was third against the run. Since he's been out, Detroit is last against the run. Expect Howard to have a big day and also to be able to control the clock. But again, the Bears' pass defense isn't where it needs to be. And even though Kyle Fuller's having a pretty solid year, and Prince Amukamara is having a pretty solid year, and the safety play has been decent. Trevathan is going to be playing, so don't expect Abdullah Riddick or Zach Zenner to have a big game. But again, 40 to 45 pass attempts from Stafford. He'll be able to get the ball out to Marvin Jones and Golden Tate, and maybe even Ebert has a big game. But I just don't see the Bears going into Detroit winning. Detroit's won 8 of the last 9 against the Bears, so they're finding a way to win.
Well, I will say this: if the Bears do win, it's because of clock management at the end of the game, and they don't leave Stafford enough time. If they give him more than a minute, it's over. So, you know it as well as I do. So, yeah, I agree. I'm picking the Lions, too. Chiefs, Chargers, the other game today. Eric, take it away.
Okay. I got a few stats on this game, mainly for the road team. Darn it, Anthony. You're doing it to me, too. Every time. The Chargers at the Chiefs. Phillip Rivers in his career is 5-6 at Arrowhead. He has lost the last 3 games at Arrowhead in the regular season. He averages 282 yards passing at Arrowhead. He's got a total of 16 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Almost a 2-to-1 ratio, but just off just a little bit. The last 3 games that they have lost, they lost in overtime by 6. They lost 10-3 in 2015, and they lost 19-7 in 2014 before winning 2 in a row in 13 and 12. He hasn't thrown multiple touchdown passes since the win in 2013, where he threw 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. Last year he threw 1 touchdown, no interceptions. So I really like the Chargers in this game. However, what the Chiefs did to the Raiders last week kind of shows me that the Chiefs are getting back on track. And I think this is a game that the Chiefs say, you know what? We're done playing that type of football from when we went 1-6 in that span. We got the Raiders that geared us up for the Chargers, and they beat the Chargers. I think Alex Smith has a big game again with Travis Kelce. Kareem Hunt shows up. You know, the Chargers are going to pressure Alex Smith, but he is really quick at getting out the ball. He can read the field pretty good. He can actually leave the pocket and run. He can beat you with his legs too. Give me the Chiefs in a close game by a field goal today.
Yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs too. I just think the Chargers. Arrowhead's a tough place to play. The Chiefs are relatively healthy. The Chargers are. The Chargers are red hot, but who have they beaten? That's a real question one has to ask. They barely beat the Browns. They beaten Denver. I mean, this winning streak hasn't exactly been world beaters, and we know what the Chiefs did against the Patriots. We know what the Chiefs have done against better opponents. So, Arrowhead's a really tough place to play. And last time I checked, Phillip Rivers doesn't have Antonio Brown to throw to. So last year, what happened in Arrowhead with the Steelers was mainly because the Steelers have a better team than the Chargers. I know they have struggled against the pass, but I think the Chargers are going to get some pressure on Phillip Rivers. I think they're going to run Kareem Hunt, and I think they're going to win the game. So I go with the Chiefs over the Chargers by. I'll say a field goal wins it, but I don't think it's going to be by a field goal. I think a field goal wins it. They win by 2. Let's say like 23-21 type of thing. So the Patriots and Steelers. That's the other one that we were going to go over. Go ahead.
All right. Patriots and Steelers. Now, this is a game of two heavyweights in the AFC. This is basically your Super Bowl. This could also be a preview of the AFC Championship game. Okay, here's some more stats for you. Tom Brady is 9-2, including the playoffs, against the Steelers. He has 24 touchdowns and 3 interceptions with a passer rating of 114.2 and 8.3 yards per attempt. Brady gets up for this game. Now, here's the problem that I'm seeing. Who's going to cover Gronkowski? Ryan Shazier is out for the season. He could be out for his football career, but hopefully he gets healthy enough that he can come back and play. So I want to know who's going to guard Gronkowski. The Pittsburgh Steelers cover the tight end well, but Shazier's not on the field. Who's going to cover him? Watt? Probably not, because he's an edge rusher. They might try to chip Gronkowski so he gets off his route a little bit, but he's big. He can wreak havoc in the middle of the field. They have Chris Hogan back, who's finally back. This will be his second game back from a shoulder injury. Still Amendola, still Cooks. But the Steelers are at home. Le'Veon Bell can run wild. Antonio Brown could have a huge game coming off a 213-yard performance. Ben Roethlisberger at home is money. But, and I know you already have my answer written down on who I'm taking at these, but I'm taking the Patriots. Because Brady is up for this game. I think he got caught looking ahead against Miami, and there's no way that they're going to go 0-11 on third down against Pittsburgh. They're going to keep the drive going. They're going to move the chains. Gronkowski's going to have a huge game. And I'm not saying that Roethlisberger, Bell, or Brown won't, but also look for Juju Schuster-Smith to also have a big game as the Patriots roll coverage onto Brown's side. This is going to be a shootout. There's going to be a lot of touchdowns in this game. Very little field goals. If it comes down to a field goal kicking game, I'd give the edge to Gostkowski. Even though Boswell is really good, especially in his own home stadium. But I like the Patriots winning by 10 plus.
Anytime you have a matchup of coaches, one who's a tactician that takes away your best players and strategizes and game plans how to stop you, and another one whose strategy is just go ahead and do your thing, guys, and we'll win the game. Mike Tomlin has never been an X's and O's guy. He's never taken away the best player on the other team, ever. He's always banked on his players outperforming their players. So in that kind of a matchup, I will take the Patriots every single time. Le'Veon Bell won't run the ball today or tomorrow. He won't. They will shut him down, or they will shut Antonio Brown down. One of the two is going to get shut down, and the other one will have a big day, but will it be enough? I don't know. But anytime you have a matchup of coaches like this where one has an advantage over the other, I'll always take an X's and O's guy over a just go get it done type of coach. And for the Steelers, that's all Mike Tomlin is. I remember watching the Super Bowl against the Cardinals. They didn't take Larry Fitzgerald away. They just banked on their players outperforming the Cardinals offense. In the Super Bowl against the Packers, they didn't take Aaron Rodgers away. They didn't take Jordy Nelson away. They just banked on their team having a better day than the other team, and that doesn't work. Bill Belichick has made a career out of finding what your strength is and eliminating that from your game plan, and you better have another way to work. So I agree. I'm taking the Patriots. All right, Rams Seahawks. I'm going to write this down. It's 10:43. So, look, you just read a whole bunch of statistics. Tom Brady against the Dolphins has a career that is way below what he normally does. You talked about how he does against the Pittsburgh Steelers and how he's always beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. What I find funny about this game is Russell Wilson struggles against the Rams every time he plays them. But somehow I'm supposed to believe now he's not going to struggle against the Rams. They gave up 400 yards of total offense to the Rams with Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor in the lineup and Bobby Wagner. And I'm supposed to believe that they're not going to give up 400 yards in this game to the Rams without Richard Sherman and Bobby Wagner and Cam Chancellor. I'm supposed to believe that the Seahawks are, even with the Rams. I don't see it. The Rams defensive line versus I always look at matchups. Guys that actually play each other. It's always funny when they go, oh, it's going to be Roethlisberger versus Brady. No, it isn't. Roethlisberger has never gone against Tom Brady, ever. It's been Roethlisberger against the Patriots defense. It's been Brady against the Steelers defense. But those two have never gone head-to-head against each other at the same time, right? So you got to look at the matchups on the field. So Rams defensive line versus the Seahawks offensive line. Who has the advantage? Eric?
Rams.
Absolutely. Rams linebackers versus Seahawks running backs. Who has the advantage?
Linebackers.
Okay. Rams secondary versus the Seahawks secondary. Would you say push?
Yes.
Okay. Rams special teams versus Seahawks special teams. Who has the advantage?
I want to say it's relatively even only because I trust Seattle's punt returner and kick returners more than I trust Tavon Austin.
Okay, Tavon Austin hasn't been returning punts since week 4.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about that. The Rams have blocked more punts, blocked more extra points, blocked more field goals than the Seahawks. The Rams have the advantage there. Now you go to offense. Offensive line versus Seahawks defensive line.
Oh, geez, the Seahawks offensive line is garbage.
No, defensive line. Seahawks defensive line versus the Rams.
Yeah, defensive line.
Yeah.
The Seahawks defensive line can get after the quarterback. Cliff Averill, Bennett should be suspended for this game, but he's not.
I agree. Advantage Seahawks.
Yeah.
Right. Now, Seahawks linebackers versus Rams running backs. It's not even a question.
Gurley.
Yeah, the Rams. Rams wide receivers versus this Seahawks secondary.
Receivers.
Right. Now, Jared Goff, we saw what Jared Goff did against the Saints defense, who were missing 2 corners that were their best players. And we know what Jared Goff did the last time he played Seattle in the LA Coliseum, okay? Because in that game, he went against a full-strength, fully healthy Seattle Seahawks team. So if the Rams have the advantage in all of these areas, I don't know how anyone picks the Seahawks to win this game. And don't talk to me about the 12th man. Because the 12th man this year, and you can only go off of this year, the Rams are 5-1 on the road, and Seattle's lost games at home. And while it's a nice story to try to frame this like it's going to be a really good matchup, I think the Rams win this game by 10 points. I think the Rams win this game by 10 points. And I think they win it because they have the advantage in several key areas and the X factor. The X factor is Russell Wilson struggles against the Rams every single time he plays them. And if we learned anything from Monday night, when a quarterback struggles with a particular team, we should take that very seriously. Did anybody pick the Dolphins to beat New England? And yet,
I don't think so.
And yet there was Tom Brady struggling as usual. So Russell Wilson struggles with the Rams. He has a losing record against them. Well, he has a losing record against them when he's visiting them. At home, I think he's barely at 500, if not just over. So he might actually be about 500 against the Rams. But the point is he struggles against them. And this Ram team hasn't lost 2 games in a row this year. Not once this season have they lost 2 in a row. Something else to think about. Eric, I'm picking the Rams to win this game. I'm going to say 34-21. Your pick.
Okay, so I just did a little bit of research while you were analyzing this game. And something that struck me as kind of a wow factor. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. I'm not sure if any of our listeners are aware of this. The Rams, since 2005, are 1-11 up in Seattle. Okay? 2004 was the last time they beat Seattle twice in a season, and they actually beat them 3 times, including the playoffs. Completely different years, completely different offensive schemes.
Eric, stop. Eric. Hold on. No, you're wrong. Go back and look at 2015. The Rams beat Seattle in overtime in LA, and then they went to Seattle and they beat them 23-17.
All right, you know what? That's my bad because I was looking just basically at away.
Okay.
That was the one I missed. I was looking basically for away. But yes, they did sweep Seattle in 2015. So good catch. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I was mentioning, different head coaches, different offensive schemes, different talent on each side of the ball. I can't just wrap my head around a 1-11 record in Seattle in the last 12 years. But I think the Rams are ticked that they let a game slip through their fingers. To me, they let 2 games slip through their fingers. The game against Seattle earlier and last week against Philadelphia. The Rams know that if they don't want to play that first week, okay, there's always a chance that they could get the number 2 seed because they have a couple of tiebreakers, one with New Orleans at least, because they're ahead of them. So look for the Rams to run the ball. I expect Russell Wilson and Mike Davis to run the ball as well. Now, if the Rams can contain Doug Baldwin on the outside and Jimmy Graham in the red zone, the Rams win this game by 13. But I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit more low scoring than your prediction. And it's probably going to be maybe a little bit closer than 13 as well. Give me 24-13 Rams. I hope that's not what you said.
No, I said 34-21. You're fine. All right.
Okay.
You agree, though, these injuries to Seattle is just too much to overcome against a really good football team.
It is, but the way they were able to play, they really impressed me against Philadelphia, and I know Wentz had a little bit of an off game that game. But to me, Goff is just underneath Wentz right now. Wentz was in the system, has been in the same system 2 years. Goff, second year, 2 systems, 2 different systems, first year and second year. That's why it gives him an advantage to Wentz, but he is now out for the year. And Goff has been playing lights out. I don't think the Rams get to their points per game average, but they score enough to put Seattle away. Now, Seattle's going to try to make a run in the fourth quarter, like they always do.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams' defense, I think, stops them. I think you're going to see a key interception by Russell Wilson. Last week, he threw 3 interceptions against Jacksonville. I think you're going to see at least 2 more against the Rams this week.
So, really quick, is Kenyon Webster out for the season like I feared?
Yes, he is. Achilles injury.
Yep, Achilles tendon. Tremaine Johnson is going to be fine. He's back. I actually do like Hill. I think the Rams have that's going to be a problem. They'll probably put Tremaine on their biggest receiver. And look, I will say the reason I think 21 is a good score is because I think Lockett is going to be capable of putting up some points, or Baldwin, whoever Tremaine isn't on. So I think they'll have a better.
And don't forget this: Bobby Wagner, linebacker for the Seahawks, is a game time decision. If he is out, expect Gurley to have a big game.
Well, I actually think the Rams are going to try to give Gurley the ball more because of what happened in Philadelphia. 13 carries isn't enough, so I think they're probably going to go that route. Well, listen, I'm running out of energy. I'm sorry that if this episode wasn't full of piss and vinegar, as my father always used to say, but I'm tired. I'm sick. We want to make sure that we got a show in this week. I definitely want to cover the Rams, obviously being LA Rams Central. Eric, is there anything you want to conclude?
We were both wrong on the Denver-Indianapolis pick.
Yeah.
Just wanted to let everybody know that. And also, Brock Osweiler came in and had himself a game against the Colts, and it was nice to see him get going. I think you're going to see Brock Osweiler for the rest of the year, and don't be surprised if Denver lets him go and he's a backup somewhere next year. But Denver has won 2 in a row now. As far as anything else going on, I haven't heard anything. The only other rumor that I've heard is that, and I don't know how everybody else feels about this, I think it should just go away, but there's rumors of possibly the XFL coming back, announcement late January. I don't buy it, but you just never know what people are going to do for money and for attention. So be on the lookout for that. We might cover that later on as it gets closer, but other than that, a couple of Saturday games next week, more Saturday games with Christmas coming on, and I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy Holidays, and we'll be out sparingly probably once a week for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll cover a couple of key games. Obviously, the Rams will always be one, and then we'll do a prediction show, and then we'll be done. That's probably going to be on Wednesday. I got family coming into town. One thing I want to say about Brock Osweiler, I think he's proven that he is a good backup. And in that role, I think he's one of the better backup quarterbacks I think I've ever seen. He's not only capable of coming in and winning you a football game, but he's capable of coming in and dominating a football game. It's just, unfortunately for him, all that preparation that comes with being a starter, it seems like that's what he struggles with. So, but if you need him for a couple of weeks and he knows that he's in a limited role, that might be his future, and that might not be a bad thing. So we'll see if they do that. I agree. I think they're going to play Osweiler the rest of the year, but he should be a backup somewhere next year, and I think he's going to be a really good one for whoever picks him up. I just want to say thank you to all the subscribers. For all the comments that you guys give. I couldn't do the show without you. I wouldn't have done the show without you. So thank you so much for all of your input. And I want to reiterate what Eric said. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hanukkah, if you celebrate that, have a Happy Hanukkah. And all that good stuff. Happy New Year. All that good stuff. You guys be safe, be smart, have fun. And thanks so much for all that you do. And God bless you, and have a wonderful and a happy Merry Christmas. This is Anthony.
And this is Eric.
And go Rams!